What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Anthony Yarde is back in the ring this weekend for the first time this year after coming off a rematch win against Lyndon Arthur last year. He's coming into this one with a record of 22 wins, 2 losses, and 21 wins by way of knockout. Yarde is an imposing figure. He's got good size, strong right hand, good combination puncher, and he's a guy who is going to use his size to his advantage. He's going to come forward, close the gap, and let his hands go from being close. He's not the technician like a Bivol. He's more of a brawler, likes to be in range where he can land his body shots, straight hands, uppercuts, looping hooks. And when he lands, you feel it because he is heavy-handed. Yarde uses the jab well enough to find the range. Watching his fights over the years, I feel like when he starts to think too much and kind of get in his own head, that's when he gets in trouble. And that's when he'll be a little bit more indecisive in his approach and think himself out of doing what we know he's capable of. And that's dominating a fight with the size, power, explosiveness, and athleticism. He's a lot faster than he looks. Once he gets comfortable, it's hard to get him off of you. He's an accurate puncher, so you have to be careful when you're in the ring with him, because if you aren't careful, you'll get caught with a shot that could take you out and close out the show. Let's go back to his rematch against Lyndon Arthur. He set the pace early in that fight, took command of the fight, and fought with confidence, not only in himself, but his power and his skill. Whereas in the first fight, he let Arthur lure him into him dictating the pace of the fight and fought to Arthur's slower pace. Even though Yarde had some good moments and had him hurt, he didn't capitalize off of it. But in the rematch, he adjusted the game plan and the strategy, picked up the pace, and controlled the tempo right at the beginning of the fight. And that led to a much different outcome. Now, he doesn't have the best footwork, doesn't have the best head movement either. And sometimes he gets lured into fighting his opponent's style. But Yarde is a very good quality fighter who can make the necessary adjustments. And when you mix that with his power and his athleticism and his explosiveness and his dynamic punching ability, I mean, he can make it a tough night for anyone in that division. But let's talk about his opponent, Stefani Koykov. He's coming into this one with a record of 14 wins, 1 loss, 12 wins by way of knockout. I haven't heard of him before. I'm not going to lie to you. I have not heard of him before, but the fights that I've seen of him, and when I went back and watched the tapes, most of his fights have came from Germany. This is his first fight outside of Germany. He's got good size. He's got a decent right hand, likes to sit down on his punches. He's not a bad fighter. He does do some good things, but this is not a guy, to be quite honest, who Anthony Yarde should have any problems with. Anthony Yarde is levels above of him, in my opinion. So we shouldn't have any problems in this fight. The only thing that I could see that could cause a problem is this is Koykov's 4th fight this year, so he's more active, right? His body has been in the ring a lot more, whereas the ring rust could show in this fight since it's Anthony Yarde's first fight of the year. Maybe Koykov can use that to his advantage and not allow Yarde to get comfortable. But again, this isn't a fight that I should see Anthony Yarde having too much problem with. I have Anthony Yarde winning this fight by knockout. It's a 10-round fight, and I think the KO happens pretty early, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comments section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find my social media handles on screen as well. Also, I just did a recent podcast interview with Abraham Nova, and we talk about a whole bunch of different things, including the lead up to his loss against Robeisy Ramirez and what he learned from that loss. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes that we often aren't privy to. So if you would like to hear a little bit more about the lead up to that fight and a little bit about Abraham Nova's story and upbringing, then I will attach the podcast links in the description below. And definitely, if you were listening to the podcast, definitely subscribe to the podcast as well. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this time, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.